Hi everyone, I am Jack Red, and today I'm going to give you a proper refill on Dragon Ball GT. Before we start, and before I get really pissed off telling you exactly how bad this anime is and why it's the worst, I should let you know ahead of time that the reason why there won't be any footage is because here's what happens. I know how to get the footage off of YouTube. The problem is, if I do add the footage, or even subtitles to that footage, it lags. And of course, that doesn't look good. Like, if you realize at the beginning of Resident Evil, the refill that I did with stuff, you know that I'm not lying. It is actually a problem, and I know it makes me look bad, and that's not what I want. I actually want to look good, I want to look entertaining, I want to be straight up in your face, and I really want to make this a good refill. Originally, I was going to do a refill on Dragon Ball Z, but I still have to plan out very few things before I do that. So, let's get this started with this piece of shit, no good Dragon Ball Castaway. I really don't care for this at all. It's just a very terrible show, and you're going to find out why in a few minutes. Okay, my first big problem with the whole thing is the first two were actually part of one manga. There was Dragon Ball chapters, and then there was Dragon Ball Z chapters. So it actually makes sense why they're both in one manga. But GT's was not based on a manga, and I read somewhere that they actually made a manga based on that. Oh Christ. So that tells you right there that this is going to be an anime original series, and you wouldn't expect it to be this bad, right? But boy, you want to know which ones I really recommend that I would rather be talking about than this shit? Ninja Scroll the series, as long as the Ninja Scroll movie. And I'm going to leave it at that. Well, there is another one I want to bring up that I really need to bring up here. It's a Funimation anime called Devil May Cry. It's sort of based on the games, and it's pretty damn good. I would rather watch those two in that movie than to actually watch this piece of shit show. There's a lot of plot holes, and I'm going to try to bring up as many as possible within the video. So, if I do miss out on anything, you can let me know to the comments, and I'll probably make a follow-up. Like parts I missed, kind of didn't put in the refill, so I'll probably be doing them too. So, now Dragon Ball had 5 seasons. Dragon Ball Z had 9. Not surprisingly, I am familiar with Naruto. I'm not much for it. It also has 9 seasons. While stuff like Bleach has more than that, and it's not even bigger. Even in the manga, it's trying to get bigger, and it will, probably. But that's not the point. The point is that GT only had 2 seasons, and it was pretty horrible. It didn't even have one big enough saga to be a season, which is disappointing. The last 2 at least had a couple that were, and then some that were kind of mixed together, so it upset me. I mean, when it comes to anime original, I think Dragon Ball Z did it best with the Gunnar Jr. saga. It was actually a follow-up to the first movie. It's like anime collateral, but it wasn't manga collateral, which means that all 13 movies of Dragon Ball Z are not collateral. But if you count the anime, then only the first movie would be collateral through that sense. But besides that, then the other ones don't even fit anywhere. But I found out a lot more issues with the characters, and I gotta let you know, it's a very scary sight. What you're about to hear, you might want to put a gun up to your head and make sure it blows your fucking head off. I am dead serious. Okay, basically what Goku looks like in this one is, if you're familiar with his outfit, the pants stay the same, but the shirt changes. Basically, the shirt it looks like a blue and white version of his orange and blue shirt, which also has a blue shirt behind it. It doesn't look like he has any shirt behind this one for some reason. And yeah, it's kind of screwed up. Trunks. The only thing wrong with his look is that it's based on the manga Trunks' hair, and surprisingly in the Dragon Ball movie, Bulma had that problem. Now, I don't know if they were trying to make this even closer to the manga. I really don't have any effing clue on that. but it's kind of awkward because I liked how blue it looked in Dragon Ball Z. I thought it looked pretty damn good. And Bulma here stayed the same all through Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT. So I really don't know why, out of nowhere, they're like, okay, let's make his hair bluer. Let's make it dark. It makes no fucking sense. It really doesn't make any sense. And I'm not kidding when I say that this is only the ones that are terrible. Now you're going to hear the ones that really, really do piss me off as a Dragon Ball fan ever since my early anime years, which will probably be age 8 or 9. So let's get into that. Alright, let's start with the one that pisses me off so damn much. Goten. Now, Goten basically looks like a kid version of Goku. And yes, I'm not kidding, that's what he looks like. Now here's one thing that's awkward. With that, he looks totally different when he's older. He's usually on the cell phone talking to his girlfriend, who you find is really incredibly dumb. And you're just like, okay, why is he dating someone this dumb? I mean, she looks like she has a good art, but don't you want someone that's a little brighter? I don't know. His whole look looked totally different. Like, instead of looking at Goku's hair, it looked like it was like, you know the people that have hair that's kind of like that, like, split at one end? It makes no sense. And the outfit he was wearing is somewhat horrible for, a teen. But Gohan, when he was a teen, he wore the same stuff for, his early years before he decided to look like a human being. Like Clark Kent, for instance. Yeah, I really have no clue what's going on with that either. But Gohan did stay the same through, like, the last couple of episodes of Dragon Ball Z, sort of. And I'm just, like, to a certain point. I'm not saying, when he wore his, outfit for most of the series. I'm just saying the other outfit he wore throughout the series that you don't get to see as much. So, let's see, who else I need to hit? Oh Christ, Vegeta. And isn't it a big surprise that he actually grew up one of my personal favorites? A character that was basically an arch rival to Goku. The very same character who started as a villain, who was this close to dying, who actually did get killed and got revived and all that, who actually became the second official Super Saiyan. And they end up, like, screwing up his look this bad. Oh boy, you're not even gonna believe half this shit. Okay, one thing that's wrong with this look is they made him look taller. Now, they're supposed to be the same height. Second thing is, they actually made him have, like, a mustache. Now, I read somewhere that Saiyans are not really supposed to have that look unless it's part of them. Like, King Vegeta has the beard, and that's going to be a part of him for a long, long time. Right there. And it is a known fact that the lower level Super Saiyans are going to look like Goku, pretty much, and Bardock. So, yeah, with that being said, it's just upsetting that they not only screwed that up, they screwed up the height. His forehead looks a little smaller than it should be, and he doesn't get to do as much on the show, which is another big disappointment. So, I really didn't like what they did with Vegeta at all in this one. And the closest thing is when he has that at the end of Dragon Ball Z, he's like, oh, Goku beats me and everything. He kind of gets that too here. And here's one thing that pisses me off. How can you become a Super Saiyan 4? That's right, a Super Saiyan 4, and skip 3? It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. But I'm going to explain how that happens later in the video. It's just, what the fuck?